On a bustling city street, where people rush by, consumed in their own worlds, a homeless man named James stands, weary and struggling. His clothes are tattered, his face worn, his eyes filled with a quiet desperation. His hand stretches out to anyone who might notice him. He asks with a gentle, almost hesitant voice, "Can you spare $1?" But little does he know, this simple request would change everything. Barron Trump, the youngest son of former President Donald Trump, is walking nearby. He's a young man who could easily ignore this stranger. But as James asks for just $1, Barron does something unexpected, something that would surprise everyone who witnessed this moment. He doesn't just pass by. Barron pauses, looking at James not with pity, but with curiosity. "What's your story?" he asks, his voice sincere, his gaze soft. This isn't just about handing over $1. Barron wants to understand. And in that question, a powerful connection begins to form. James hesitates for a moment, then begins to speak. He tells Barron about his life, a life that was once full of hope, of stability. He was once a father, a hard worker, someone who provided for his family. But life is a way of throwing unexpected challenges your way. A lost job, a medical emergency, or in his case, struggles with PTSD after serving in the military. Through it all, James never gave up hope. He never stopped believing that someday, things would turn around. But as the years passed, the weight of his circumstances grew heavier. His pride was shattered, but his spirit remained unbroken. As Barron listens, his expression softens. He's not just hearing a story, he's feeling it. And James can see the empathy in Barron's eyes. There's no judgment here, only understanding. It's a connection that transcends social status, that reaches deep into the heart of human experience. Then, just when James thinks this moment might end like every other, Barron surprises him in a way no one could have expected. Instead of handing James $1, Barron reaches into his wallet and pulls out a crisp $100 bill. He looks James in the eyes and says, "This isn't just money. This is a fresh start." But Barron doesn't stop there. What he does next will leave you breathless. He turns to a nearby security officer and asks for help. Within minutes, Barron arranges for James to have a warm meal, a much-needed haircut, and some new clothes to replace his worn-out ones. It's not just about charity, it's about dignity, respect, and a chance to begin again. But that's not all. Barron picks up his phone and calls a family friend who owns a successful business. "I have someone who could really use a fresh start," Barron says. The next day, James is offered a job interview. A job, something he hasn't had in years. James stands there, stunned. He can barely find the words to express his gratitude. His eyes well up with tears as he stammers. "No one has ever done this for me before." His voice cracks with emotion. For a moment, it seems like the weight of his suffering, the years of struggle, are being lifted off his shoulders. But then, just when you think it can't get any more emotional, another twist, an even more powerful moment happens. James glances at Barron's personal assistant, who has been quietly observing the exchange. And something about her name, something about the way she looks, sparks a memory in James. He turns to her, his eyes wide with recognition. "Wait," he says, his voice trembling. Are you my sister?" The assistant, equally stunned, nods. Tears fill her eyes as the realization hits. "James, is it really you?" After all these years, what follows is a moment that will bring tears to anyone watching. A long-lost brother and sister, reunited after 15 years of separation. The reunion is emotional, filled with raw joy and disbelief. Barron watches, moved by the depth of the connection unfolding before him. "Wait, let's pause for a second." You're deep in this moment, feeling the weight of every word, the tension in the air. But before we continue, make sure you're subscribed. This is the kind of storytelling that makes you think, that challenges perspectives. Hit that subscribe button now, so you never miss moments like this. Alright, now back to the story. Fast forward several months, and James's life has completely turned around. Thanks to Barron's unexpected act of kindness, James is no longer living on the streets. He's found a steady job, his confidence restored. He's moved into a small apartment, where he now feels the warmth of stability. But what's even more remarkable is how James has turned his newfound purpose into something greater. James now volunteers at a local shelter, helping others who are struggling, offering them the same hope and compassion he was once shown. His story, the story of a man who had lost everything, only to find a second chance through one simple act of kindness, has gone viral. News outlets across the country share his story, and it inspires millions. One evening, as James sits in his modest apartment, he reflects on how much his life has changed. He pulls out an old, worn photograph, one of him and his sister as children. The faded image reminds him of how much time was lost, but also how much was regained. He now speaks with her every day, making up for the years they spent apart. He thinks about Barron, the young man who saw him when no one else did, and he silently promises to pay that kindness forward. Never underestimate the power of kindness. One small action can change a life forever. Did you catch Barron Trump's incredible act of kindness? It left everyone speechless. And trust us, you don't want to miss more heartwarming stories like this. If this powerful moment inspired you, make sure to hit that subscribe button now, because we've got even more uplifting stories and life-changing lessons coming your way. Don't forget to like if you believe in the power of kindness. Share this story with your friends to spread the message, and comment below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you think Barron's actions were the perfect way to change someone's life? Let's talk about it.